Hello, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Gooblefly does a vlog. So we're back with vlogs, and we are playing Stardew Valley again. This is not a set thing. I'm just kind of testing the waters, and I couldn't think of anything better at the moment. And Stardew Valley was always kind of our go-to for these things when we didn't know what else to do. So, oh, I want one of these back actually. Just as a quick point of interest, I did skip the first few days, not because I was like, oh, these days will be boring, but because I actually recorded a 40-minute vlog. Attempt one of this vlog took me 40 minutes. I sat down and thought that's going to take like 2 hours to render, and then about the same time to upload, so fuck that. Sorry, I'm readjusting in my chair. So we're re-going at day 5 on a new save. Character's called Lucy, in case you're wondering, and we're going to marry Maru, and I'm making friends with Linus. That's all you kind of need to know, you know what I mean? Anyway, on with the vlog stuff, because we've got quite a lot to talk about, as demonstrated by the fact that I had a 40-minute episode. I don't really want to do that. Let's start with channel stuff. I am starting the Let's Play channel up again as of today. This is hopefully going to be day 1 of week 1 of the new-ish Gooblefly. I'm still going by Gooblefly 100%, but I'm not going to be having a super focus on 100%ing games, because that was a kind of dumb idea, I think. Not in theory. I liked where I was going with it, but in practice I did it terribly, which was I tried to make every series that. And that meant I had these huge long plays that didn't work. They were, I burned myself out on the games I was playing, and I chose terrible games to start with. Shovel Knight being the prime example of that. Shovel Knight, ooh boy, that was a dumb idea. I wasn't enjoying playing it, and it was taking too long. So yeah, fuck that. We're skipping that now, and we're on to what we're going to be doing now. And I'm going to talk about... let's just lay into it. So, there are going to be 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, I just alt-tabbed. How did I do that? Don't know how that looks for you, but we'll find out in the editing process. There are going to be 5 kinds of video that I'm going to quickly talk about. And we're going to talk about them bit by bit and talk about them in terms of scheduling. 4 of these are guaranteed, 1 of these is not, and we will, again, just talk about it as they come. So, first things first. The most obvious of these, my vlogs. I love doing these vlogs, right? These have always been a huge part of me and a huge part of my channel. I want to be open with any audience that I muster, and I don't know if that picked up for you guys, but that was a ROM finished downloading, and we're going to talk about that in this little section, so let's get on to that. Vlogs are super important to me. They make me very happy. They give me a place to safely talk about how I'm feeling, and allow me to connect with an audience in a way that I don't think I do. A lot of people watched my vlogs, even though they were often quite downers, and that I was always okay with. That was the point of these, was not to be a downer per se, but to be a way for me to be me, and for you guys to see that person that I am. 7. Let's sell one of those when we got 6. But yeah, I love these vlogs. These vlogs, as long as I do YouTube stuff, I will always be doing vlogs. That's the kind of TLDR of it. These vlogs will be going up weekly on Monday as per usual. Now, video types 2 and 3. Let's Plays. Simple as. I'll be doing 2 main series as we go into this new version of Gooblefly. I don't want to bite off too much. I don't want to bite off more than I can chew as of yet. Depending on how things go, depending on how, what followings we get, etc. I might up those numbers, I might decrease those numbers, I might fuck around with those numbers as I see fit. For now, I'm doing 2 series. To start off with, I am going to be playing Dark Souls as one, and Pokemon XD Gale of Darkness as the other, or if that was the ROM that you heard finished downloading, or if that doesn't work, which I've been having some trouble with emulators on this new computer, I will be switching that up to just a Pokemon Let's Play. I don't know exactly what, but probably a fan game. So like Pokemon Insurgents, but I'm thinking maybe Pokemon Uranium, which is supposed to be pretty good, and yeah. So that's kind of where I'm at. Now, in terms of how that relates to my YouTube name, Gooblefly 100%, I'm going to be making 100%ing a thing when I want to. I will have Let's Play series on my channel which I 100% games or even franchises. And that will be okay with me. That's a way of incorporating my name, but not a way I'm going to burn myself out. For example, I want to do Spyro again. I love that. And one of the kind of things I always said when I did my Spyro Let's Plays, for those of you who don't remember, when I was just Gooblefly, I did a 100%ing Spyro the Dragon series. I did it with the original series, and all the way through that I said that if I ever had the ability to, I would record Spyro Enter the Dragonfly. Which, if you're not a Spyro fan, was a god-awful game. I now have the ability to 100% Spyro Enter the Dragonfly. So, I am going to complete the Spyro series at some point. Don't know when I'm going to do that, but I'm going to. With that, so yeah, that's where we're kind of sitting at with Series 1 and 2. Video type 4 is the one which I'm not sure about, the one that's kind of like tentative. I'm considering creating a fourth slot of videos for either visual novels or these adventure puzzle games that I quite like. So things like Myst, Cairn, etc. These almost escape the room-esque kind of things, or point-and-click games. They often don't do particularly well in terms of series, but they are series that I absolutely adore making. And you guys don't know, but they are just my favorite types of games. I love story games. First of all, visual novels actually do okay. But the kind of big one for me is puzzle games. I often get 0 views on those, but I really want to do them. So I'm going to create a special slot for them, which is kind of like almost the kind of my brain of it is, that's not a phrase, but the way I think about it is the almost like the Google Variety Hour, 2 episodes over the weekend maybe is kind of how I'm thinking about it for now, and it's how I'm going to be doing the test, a couple of episodes for it. So 1 episode Saturday, 1 episode Sunday, and it's just, 2 20 to 30 minute videos where I can play whatever the fuck I want. I don't need to worry about SEOs, I don't need to worry about any of that, like I care about that anyway, but they're for me. And I think that will be a decent thing. Video type number 5 is, of course, the roster challenge. If you missed my introduction video to the roster challenge, I'm creating a little series on this channel. And it's kind of the thing that kicks me back into Let's Playing, where I play through games that feature Smash Brothers roster characters and review them. We're going to talk about this a little bit more when we get into vlog section 2. I'm sorry this one's so structured. I just want to keep to time and not overshoot again. There'll be more casual vlogs as of next week, hopefully. But anyway, roster challenge videos, they have no structure, but if you missed my introductory video to it, I talked about my kind of plans for the roster in an intro video, which is on the channel, it is live. You can go find that, and I will be creating a series of those. Those will go up on Monday if I have them. There's no schedule to them, but if I've got a video, it will go up on a Monday. That is, I just think, the way that I can do that the most comfortably. And it's the way I want to do it. I have almost got the first one ready. Donkey Kong Country, which I will be releasing hopefully next Monday. Don't hold me to that date, but that's kind of what I'm hoping for. I've had a few hiccups with videos this week, which has meant I had to re-record everything today to get ready for this week. I still have to go play Pokemon XD Gale of Darkness, so we're very behind on schedule. So I might not be able to get the editing that I need to do for that. I need to record more game footage as well. There's just a lot of stuff that I still need to get sorted out. But yeah, that's where I'm at with the regular Let's Play stuff. If you have any questions about how I'm doing stuff, how I'm formatting stuff, or have any suggestions for games that you might want me to see me play now that I have so many more options at my at my disposal, even exposal, that's not a word, then hit me up. I listen to these things anyway, but especially now that I've got almost infinitely more possibilities, I'm very interested to see what you say. With that, I want to get onto other project stuff, and other projects we are going to start with talking about the roster challenge again. These books are so useless to us. But the roster challenge, I love doing reviews, and I really want to try get into the practice of actual games journalism and making video reviews that I'm proud of. Donkey Kong Country video is not going to be one of those. I might be second guessing myself a lot, but I'm not particularly happy with my script for it. I don't think that I really got my format correct, and there's a few contributing factors to that. So it's kind of hard to talk about it without having the video up that you guys could have seen, etc. But in essence, when I was still doing Gooblefly 100%, I talked about the fact that I was going to do a review series for every game I beat this year, right? I said my New Year's resolution was to beat 50 games this year, and I was going to put up a short review for every game that I beat this year. They were going to be like minutes to 2 minute long, 5 minute-ish like videos where I just rambled about a game I played this week or whatever. I kind of had it in my... I guess that kind of style video was very me, because it's like what I tried to do with this Donkey Kong Country review. I realized it a little too late that my script was a little bit too like one of those. I don't want to reboot the entire thing, because that means I'm going to be delaying this project even more, and we're going to get on to talking about quote-unquote stillborn, sorry, pretty lame wording for it, projects, but yeah, I don't want to have this roster challenge dead on arrival. I want to have this opportunity to actually go and do it. Oh cool, we can make scarecrows now. Oh Christ, we couldn't make scarecrows. That means we have a chance that the stuff we just planted got wasted. We're going to go and talk about podcasts. So, if you haven't been following my stuff, and obviously there's been huge breaks in between stuff, so I totally understand it now. I can't remember what I need for that scarecrow. There we go. I need one of these. I have been working on podcasts for almost a year now. Well, half a year-ish. And the kind of plan is that I want to make podcast content. I want to make some podcasts. It's not hard to say, Luke. Yeah, I want to make some podcasts. I have been working on these for a while, but things aren't going particularly well in those. I want to quickly talk about the projects themselves. There are 2 projects I'm working on. First things first, when I last talked about my podcast projects, one of them was going to be a World of Warcraft lore podcast with my friend Joe. That podcast has been scrapped entirely. That project is dead. In essence, I was actually really excited to do that topic, but Joe kind of flaked on me. Not like through, I think, any fault of his own, but in essence, I decided that I didn't want to partner in this project, that I would have to nag to do the work. We recorded our first episode for that podcast and I was ready to go, but I needed him to send me his audio for it so I could edit it, and he didn't do it. And I waited for him, I reminded him once, he didn't do it, and I decided that I didn't want to nag him to do it, because if I didn't want to start a project where it was built on this mentality that he needed to do what I told him to. It needs to be something he wanted to engage me with, if that makes sense. So that project died. That's the TLDR of that. But I still do have 2 podcasts on the bench. One of them is quite a new idea, still very much in the works, but no, actually, let's talk about that one first. I'm working on a film review podcast with my friends Tom and Allison, and the planning for it's going really well, but it's not just like any film review podcast, because it's got to have a sexy old hook in it. It's going to be a film review podcast from the perspective of a post-apocalyptic utopian society which we are part of. So the idea being, we find this like post-apocalyptic bunker filled with old movies, and we watch them, and we create a radio show to enlighten a 1984-esque repressed even society about these movies that we found. We think it's going to be cool, but we still have a lot of things to plan out. The working title for this project is going to be The World Was Brighter Then, and it's going all right. We've got our first film watched, and we've got some notes taken, and we're passing them around, creating some goofs, and we are getting ready to record our test episode for it. I will keep you guys updated on all my projects, because that's what these vlogs are for, and I'm excited. It's, any project that I'm excited for, I will share with you. Do we have enough for 15 of these? Yes, we do. Nice. Project 2. There's a little bit more to talk about with this one. This one's the same as before. It's Whack-A-Roll, my Dungeons & Dragons live play podcast. We have had a bit of a problem with this for a while now, and that is commitment. I'm really passionate about this idea. I've talked about how much I love Dungeons & Dragons before in previous vlogs and previous content, and how much I want to have a way to incorporate D&D into my YouTube channel, and more importantly than just my YouTube channel, into my creative endeavors as a creator, as a content maker. And Whack-A-Roll was that for me. I created a group of people who said that they wanted to do the same, since which one of that team has politely bowed out. In essence, my friend Chris, who, great guy, love him to pieces, he couldn't commit to the times we needed, he couldn't commit to it, and while he really wanted to do it, and none of us ever doubted that, he was just going to his 4th year university, and our schedules just weren't really aligning, and that's cool and all, but it has meant that we had to fill that slot. That slot has been filled, but I'm not... This was only like this week, by the way, I should say. And it did mean we had to lose 3-4 hours worth of content that we had ready to go. But I'm a stickler for having a schedule and making sure that we have stuff ready before we start working, start moving, start publicizing. Publishing. Oh my god, I'm doing well in words today, am I? We have replaced him. We've replaced him with Alpax LP or my friend Stuart, and we've got hopefully our first recording session this week, but I'm not sure whether or not he's going to be the right fit for us. He's already succumbing to the same problem we had to have a conversation with Chris about. I've told him, this week we sat down and we made his character for the show, and we're ready to go and all that, and I said to him, I've added you to a Facebook group between, me, Tom, Dean, now you. I'm going to spitball a date, a day that we could record. Could you please make it known whether or not you can make that? He hasn't responded to it, and I know he's been around. I've played games with him. I've asked him a couple of times, and he hasn't responded to it. I know that he, as a person, doesn't use Facebook very often, and I'm willing to count that for part of it, but at the same time, if he's not wanting to make this and doesn't want to make it the same amount that we do, then I have to just call him out of this as well and find another replacement. But at this point, we're running out of people. We've got one other, which is Alison, or Al as like we call her, who is the person we're doing the film podcast with, but again, that's just another schedule we have to juggle, and it's becoming a real mess. And of all my projects, YouTube included, this is the one that I want to make the most. This is the one that I believe in. This is the one that most resonates with me as a content creator. And it's really starting to get to me, how long it's taking us to get a move on with it. Okay. This vlog is going to serve as talking points for a while. There's going to be more on these subjects, but I do want to keep the ball rolling and talk about personal stuff for a bit. I'm hoping to make this video 25 minutes. So I've got 5 minutes to talk about personal stuff. My life has not been great this last couple of months. To give you the rundown of everything that's happened, I've had a pretty large breakup. Me and the girl I was seeing, we're not getting back together. I think I've talked about this in previous vlogs, but she went to Hong Kong to work for 6 months. We broke up after that. I was firmly under the belief that we were probably going to get back together when she got back. She dropped it on me that she didn't want that when she got back. I respect her wishes. We've parted on okay terms, but I was very unhappy about it. We're still trying to see whether or not we can really be friends, but especially with where I'm at in my life right now, I don't particularly enjoy having her in my life in quite an unfair way. No point am I saying that it's not an unfair way. It's just a little bit hurtful for me to have her around. There's a bunch of stuff that I don't want to go into in detail in the vlog, but you know, rocky breakup is the bullet point to take away from it. Then we've got the fact that I am unemployed and homeless and totally broke. Since graduating university, I did graduate. I got a 2-1 in my degree, which I'm very proud of. I've moved home because I don't have a job, so I can't afford a flat. This has been pretty shit. It's very hard for me to do much while I'm here because my family home is in the middle of nowhere, so there's not much for me to do except sit here on my ass and play video games and occasionally hunt for jobs, which, you know, my job interviews haven't been going well. I've had a few, but I don't have experience behind me. I've never worked a job in my life. I've never had to, and I made the foolish decision to take that don't have to as shouldn't or wouldn't. Sorry, I've been talking for like about an hour and a half straight now, and my voice is starting to die a little bit. I'm going to go make some tea before I record Pokemon after this. That's telling me that we can do home upgrades. Not having a job sucks, but anyone who's been on the job hunt can tell you that it's not a pleasant experience. And more importantly, I feel so stagnant. I'm a quite active person in weird ways. I get depressed if I'm not working or if I'm not doing something, which is one of the reasons why I'm bringing back the YouTube channel. Not the primary reason. The primary reason being that I kind of want to. I have the time and I want to use it for this. And yeah, like, you know, we're not doing so great in the old happiness front right now. And it wouldn't be a Google vlog if I didn't talk about my emotions and that. There's a lot of stress on me in this household. My parents have always been quite pushy in their own ways, and that is not good for me. Especially because they often push in ways that I, for lack of a better term, don't agree with. Their margins for success are not my margins for success. You know, they want me to buckle down and find any job and just work away, and they don't really care whether or not it's something that I'm happy with. But I have like, you know, to a point I agree with that. Obviously, beggars can't be choosers, but at the same time, I do want to find something that I want to do, or something that I won't, like, you know, murder myself with. For example, I don't want to do outbound call centers. I've thought about this for a while, and a call center environment, I will happily do that. A retail environment, I will happily do. There are crappy jobs that I will happily do. An outbound call center will be horrible for me. It involves an aggressive personality that I don't have. It involves this idea of pushing for sales that, you know, I can easily go into one of these job interviews and say, oh, I'm so sales motivated, I'm target driven, and probably get one of those jobs, but I don't want to, because that's not me, and that job will not make me happy. It will stress me out, and it will tire me out to a point where I don't feel happy and I don't feel good, so I'm not doing it. Anything else? Honestly, pretty much anything else will do me, but I've just kind of ruled out one or two things. Most importantly being, well, most prominently being outbound sales, outbound telecenters. But anyway, this has just been made worse by how isolated I am where I am. My parents live in a very small hamlet, and like to sum it up, it's like elderly people, them, and the one person my-ish age is the kid that bullied me in high school. So that's pleasant. It just means that, like, I'm far away from the people I want to be with, the people I want to hang out with, the people who I look to to alleviate that stress and to alleviate that like depression, I'm just, you know, I'm stranded and I don't have any sort of income. So it's not like I could go get a train or ask one of them to put me up a couple of days. I couldn't ask them to put me up including food. I would happily ask them to put me up, like, you know, say I'm not going to pay any bills, or maybe I'll give them a tenner for electricity or something like that. Which I did do. I did that for a couple of weeks. I stayed with Martin and Danny, and that was a really, really fun couple of weeks. But it's not something I can ask regularly. So right now I don't have any money to my name. I have 50 pence to my name, and actually I have about negative £600 for my new computer, which I am slowly working off with my grandparents. That was the deal we made, that I would do gardening for them, which is important to them. They keep their garden nice and clean, and they're getting to an age where they can't do it. So we made a deal for, like, you know, X amount of hours in their garden will equate to X amount of pounds that will go against my PC. It's one of these positions where my family has a position of privilege. We are quite wealthy. We have money to spare for these sort of things. And while I don't rely on it very often, when I do it. You know, I don't feel bad about it. I don't do it. I just buckle down and I say, yes, this is something I need. I needed a PC to make projects and also to apply for jobs, stuff like that. Like, you know, I wanted a computer. I wanted a better computer, and I wanted one that I could use for applying. You know, I wanted a computer, so I got one. Like, and it just means that I had to get some money to pay it off. Like, that's where we're at with this. I don't want to make a bigger deal out of it than it is. I think that's where we're going to have to call it. I will pick up on points next week, but as I said, I don't want to make this vlog, like, you know, half an hour long of just me rambling about how miserable I am. And I am miserable. I'm not great. We will pick up on my emotions, stuff like that as we go. I'm not in a worrying state, you know, I'm not in a state where I think I'm going to do something stupid or even getting close to something like that. But I am in a place where I'm not particularly upbeat all the time. And that's one of the reasons why I want to play games. I want to make content about playing games again, because it's, you know, part of doing that is about putting on a smiley face. You know, putting on a persona where I'm happy to play a game. And I've done that, and it's been great. It's uplifting to me. And I'm working on, you know, the other podcasts and other content and stuff like that while I am unemployed and looking for work. And hopefully there'll be more of that. There'll be stories about me going to job interviews and stuff like that over the next couple of weeks. But for now, that's all we have time for in this episode of Gooblefly Does a Vlog. I'll see you later, guys. Stay happy. Bye-bye.